Galbrena, the second best fusion damage dealer thanks to our daughter, is finally back, and this video is a complete and updated guide for her by letting you know how to build her with best builds, how to use her, best teammates, her pros and cons, and many more. Without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Starting with her kit. Galbrena has two forte bars. Her kit primarily revolves around filling the blue forte bar, which can be filled by most of her attacks like basic attacks, heavy attacks, middle attacks, resonance skill, and intro skill, with basic attacks being the preferred method. Once the blue forte is filled, her resonance skill is enhanced, which makes her enter into demon hypostasis state. In this state, all her attacks are replaced, but we will mostly spam her basic attacks in our rotations. Now, what is the use of a red forte? This bar, called After Flame, fills up to 40 points when any resonator in the team casts an echo skill. Each echo skill cast gives 8 points, and each echo skill type can only trigger it once. In a standard team when no teammate can provide additional echo skill cast, she can get 24 points. Every point of this forte gives a 1.5% damage increase to her enhanced attacks up to 60%. She also gets a 20% attack increase while performing some attacks, which basically means a permanent 20% increase. Her Resonance Liberation is another very crucial part of her kit. It deals high damage, considered as echo skill damage, and gives massive 65% multiplier increase to her enhanced attacks for 14 seconds. On casting majority of her attacks, she gains a special stack called Fated End, which stacks up to 4 times. Each type of these attacks can give this stack once. These stacks give a 5% damage amplification to all her attacks up to 20%. The second inherent skill provides her with stamina recovery. Galbrena's kit allows her to skip some of her basic attacks, which can be very helpful for her rotation. Outside of the demon hypostasis state, the intro skill and basic attack 4 allows her to directly cast basic attack 2. The dodge counter allows her to cast basic attack 4. When you switch to Galbrena from any resonator, she will always start with basic attack 2. In her demon hypostasis state, her ultimate allows her to immediately do basic attack 2. Basic attack 5 allows her to directly cast basic attack 3, and dodge counter allows her to cast basic attack 4, which is very strong. Her enhanced resonance skill allows her to directly start from basic attack 2. These are great as it allows her to skip the basic attack 1, which is quite weak when compared to others. Galbrena's damage is split into two parts, echo skill and heavy attack, with echo skill damage being the majority of it. Her Resonance Liberation and basic attack 4 and 5 of her enhanced basic attack chain are considered as echo skill damage, and the basic attack 1, 2 and 3 of her enhanced basic attack combos are considered as heavy attack damage. The split scaling allows her to stack up her signature set and weapon buffs and opens more team options for her. For her talent priority, prioritize her forte circuit, then liberation, basic attacks, resonance skill and intro skill. You can choose to skip the resonance skill and intro as they don't provide much damage. Moving on to her weapons. Galbrena just got even more F2P friendly thanks to the new standard panel pistol, Phasic Homogenizer, which is only around 8% worse than her signature at R1 if you have the passive active. This is now the new must-have pistol for DPS characters thanks to its crit stats and a general 20% all type of damage bonus. You need to trigger Tune Break for this weapon. For most boss enemies without any high characters like Line or Morne who can trigger Tune Break fast, you will mostly reach it midway through the first rotation of Galbrena. So you can choose to save the Tune Break for the next rotation to buff it completely, and after that you will be able to trigger it consistently for the following rotations. The exceptions would be bosses that shift phases when Tune Break bar is filled like Lampy Lumen, then it is better to trigger it as soon as the Tune Break meter is filled. Her signature weapon, Lux and Umbra, is obviously the best option, giving her heavy attack and echo damage amplification, but not a must pull since Phasic Homogenizer exists. All the other 5-star weapons are a stat stick for her, the Last Dance, Spectrum Blaster, Static Mist and Woodland Aria. You can check the ranking here. For 4 stars, Solar Flame is the best option, but it is a BP weapon so don't spend your money. Other weapons are the Relativistic Jet and Pistol 26. The best echo set for her is a 3-piece Flame Wing Shadow set. It increases crit rate of heavy attack by 20% when she deals echo skill damage and vice versa, giving her a permanent 20% crit rate increase and 16% fusion damage bonus. Pair this set with 2-piece Molten Rift or Flaming Claw Print, which gives fusion damage bonus, or Lingering Tunes or energy regen sets like Moonlit and Empyrean. The echo skill to use would be the 3-cost Echo Chorosaurus, giving 12% fusion and 20% echo skill damage bonus, and casting it is also very easy as it has no animations. This echo comes in 2 sets, Flaming Claw Print and Flaming Shadow. For her echo stats, crit rate or damage on the 4 cost, double fusion damage or a combination of 1 fusion and 1 attack percent on the 3 cost and attack percent on the 1 cost. For substats, first prioritize getting around 10 to 25% energy regen depending on your team. Lower energy regen works with mono fusion, and for standard teams aim for the higher end. Then prioritize crit stats, ideally 60% or higher crit rate and to 30% or higher crit damage, followed by attack percent, flat attack and heavy attack damage. Moving on to her team comps. Galbrena has many team options. Two of the most notable supports for her are G1, who is a sub DPS made for her, giving extra echo skill cast, echo skill damage and crit damage buff, and many more buffs from her echoes and weapons. And the other support is Lupa, enabling the mono fusion teams with her strong buffs, which is now even better with the release of Morne. Both G1 and mono fusion teams provide with a similar performance. With G1 for the last slot, Shorekeeper is the best option, followed by Varina or Morne. With Lupa, we have many fusion team options. Morne is one of the best options in this team as a sustain support, giving buffs and faster tune break build-up, which synergizes well with the Phasic Homogenizer weapon. Brand, who can deal massive damage with Lupa's buff, and also give fusion buff to Galbrena. Mortefi, giving heavy attack amplify buff, he can be better than Brand without signature. Changli is another option, giving similar or better performance if you can quickswap. Some other alternatives that can work are Frolova, who deals high personal damage and gives heavy attack amplification. Yuno, who can give 50% heavy attack amplification with great personal damage. If you don't have any of the premium units, you can create a great F2P team with just Mortefi and a sustain support like Shorekeeper or Varina, who can complete all the endgame contents. Moving on to our rotations. Just a small note, if you are enjoying this video so far, do consider liking the video and sharing it to support my channel, and leave a comment down below. Galbrena's rotations are very simple. You start with intro, then spam her basic attack to fill her forte bar, use the echo skill while doing it. Use the enhance skill into her ultimate, then keep spamming her basic attacks till the forte depletes. You can swap cancel the last hit of her enhanced basic attack combo. Some additional tips for Galbrena. Make sure to use the echo skills of all your teammates for her second forte. One of the most important things that you need to pay attention to while playing Galbrena is to get as much dodge counters as possible. It is a big deal for Galbrena as the dodge counters have high multipliers than her basic attack stage 3, and they give direct access to her basic attack stage 4. So the dodge counter becomes a strong replacement for the basic attack stage 3 of her combos. For her ultimate, you can use it early in her rotations if you have energy issues, but I prefer using it after you have used the enhanced resonance skill because it helps you stack up the amplification buff from her inherent skill. And you can use the ultimate to cancel the end animation of her enhanced skill. You can include some basic attacks or resonance skill cards of Galbrena in the quickswap windows to fill up her forte. Just make sure to hit the enemy with basic attack at least once after her intro to get her inherent passive buff. For more additional tips, you can check out my advanced guide for Galbrena. There are many useful tips here. I will put the link in description. I would also like to mention a special rotation for Galbrena, which includes cancelling her attacks in enhanced state to cast only the ones that deal echo skill damage or heavy attack damage. I honestly don't think it is worth it, but if you wish to know more about it, I have a separate video on it which you can check out. Similarly, I have many Galbrena videos showcasing her in different teams, feel free to check them out. And lastly, moving on to her sequences. Her sequences obviously are not needed as Galbrena is already very strong at S0, but they can be some nice upgrades. Her first sequence is a good quality of life upgrade. It gives her enhanced attacks up to 80% crit damage increase based on her afterflame stacks, which makes G1 an even better support for her. And most importantly, makes her immune to interruptions in her enhanced state, which is quite nice. The S2 gives her a huge 350% bonus attack, giving her a sizable damage boost. The S3 gives a similar boost by increasing the multiplier of her liberation. S4 and S5 as usual are minimal increase, stepping stones for her S6. This sequence basically gives her enhanced attacks up to 60% multiplier increase and 35% fusion damage amplification based on her afterflame stacks, which makes G1 an even better support for her. So overall, Galbrena is a really strong character, still a meta unit with very F2P friendly options when it comes to her weapons and teammates. She also has tons of different team options. As a fusion DPS, she does compete with Emeth, who is now the new best DPS, and just my personal opinion, I think she loses to her when it comes to animations and gameplay as well. But that doesn't mean she is a bad character, she is perfectly viable both for Tower of Adversity and Whimpering Wastes with F2P gears. And that was all for this video. Let me know in the comments which team you use with Galbrena. Join my Discord server to hang out with the community and for occasional giveaways. Subscribe to my channel for more Wuthering Waves content. Thanks for watching.